Music lovers and musicians in the Capital District know Chuck DeLoya as one of the best musicians to ever come from our area. In the jazz world, he's known for his work with local saxophone legend Nick Brignola, contributing to several of Nick's releases, including Tour de Force with jazz all-stars Eddie Gomez and Bill Stewart. Chuck has recorded and played with many great artists. A short list includes Billy Hart, John Patitucci, Dave Liebman, Randy Brecker, Jimmy Cobb, and Dave Holland. And who can forget that Chuck's legendary band, CD3, documented on the album Equation, was one of the most scorching fusion bands on the East Coast. Eminently versatile, Chuck is well known in the rock and blues world from his time as a session player in Nashville and Los Angeles. Additionally, Chuck has played with the Philadelphia Orchestra, the Albany Symphony, and on Broadway. He has taught at Skidmore College and at the Skidmore Summer Jazz Institute. Chuck has compiled his vast musical experience into an impressive array of lessons and teaching material, which is available on his website. We are delighted to have Chuck share some of his insights on this episode of Inside the Music.
So I'm going to take the route of, instead of what's different about jazz, is what's similar to other styles of music. Because there's more in common with other styles of music than you realize. Mainly, just playing songs. So you take Someday My Prince Will Come by Miles Davis, his recording of that. If you listen to that, you'll have a reference, because you probably, I don't know, many of you will know that song from, if you're a certain era, if you're as old as me. But you can also listen to Brad Mehldau play Nirvana songs. There's a lot of examples of this. So it's often in the pop culture, influenced by the pop culture and what's happening rhythmically, song structure wise. Doesn't matter. It's the tradition has been to take songs that we all know, however our age, whatever our age is, and to play them as jazz musicians, which means the same thing as it means playing it from other points of view. Which, you have to play the melody. You have to have a groove. You have to have a rhythm that makes you feel something in your body. And there's a form and a set of chord changes, but that's not important. The most important thing is that you know the song. And this is the best way, if you're not familiar with jazz, to get into it, is to find something you know and take a jazz musician, listen to a jazz musician's approach to it. It could be a blues. I mean, that's how it was for me. I used to listen to Jimi Hendrix playing Red House. And then I used to listen to the radio, and they'd have these organ, guitar, and drum bands, Groove Holmes, Jimmy Smith, on and on. They always had great guitar players. I'm a guitar player. So they would have very blues-based material, and often playing the blues, but with different chord changes, with a different flavor to it. So that's why the analogy of language holds up. Like it's a different language, or people talk about about cooking. It's like you're cooking, and you add this and you add that, and so if you take a blues musician who went to a different part of town where people played the blues differently, they would bring that to their neighborhood. Let's think about it as neighborhood and community, and that comes in, that, all gets added to the soup. The gumbo, whatever you want to call it. And jazz musicians get, the focus is often on improvising. But really, the focus is really, if you're with people who know what they're doing, and you're a young guy and you're learning from a woman, coming from the apprentice system, which is a great way to learn anything, whether it's learn how to build furniture. First, you probably have to learn how to build a box. You have to learn. The point is, you have to learn fundamentals. So fundamentals are huge. So you get that part down, and then you learn the songs. You learn the melody. You learn the chord changes, and then you know the song, and then you memorize it. And then the soloing part is sometimes, I think, maybe too often glorified, because you don't have to be a great virtuoso soloist to be a musical player. And there's nothing better than being musical. Some people have a giant vocabulary, but they're not able to put it together musically. It doesn't sound musical. It doesn't sound pleasing. It sounds like a bunch of bad notes. Sometimes it is. But the best of it is, it's very musical. So back to Someday My Prince Will Come, or Pat Martino playing Sunny, pop songs. And there were clinics, in Pat Martino's case, a clinic in jazz guitar. In Miles Davis's version of Someday My Prince Will Come, it was a lesson in lyrical playing, just playing very simply and leaving space and playing melodically and lyrically. So the point is, if you want to get interested in this stuff and want to get involved with it, find a song that you know and listen to a great jazz musician's version of it. You may like it, you may not like it. Find another one, Or go to the blues. If you're a guitar player like me, you're going to have roots in the blues. Like I said, for me, with Red House, with Jimi Hendrix. When I heard these organ trios with George Benson or Pat Martino or Wes Montgomery or all these great jazz guitarists, I could still hear, woke up this morning, you know what I mean? I could still hear that blues form and that cadence. So whether I knew what the hell was going on with the chord changes or not, I still could hear, this is where it starts, this is where it ends. And the vocabulary, and that's really what it is. It's a language. Comes from listening to the songs and listening to the solos, but it also comes from the songs, the melodies of the songs. The melodies of these songs, whatever area you are interested in, or whatever area you are drawn to, will give you the vocabulary. It'll pull you into the vocabulary of that specific type of improvising. Now, the other thing is, jazz musicians often think, well, I don't know, maybe this is just my point of view, that they're the only people that improvise. But every roots-based music, which jazz is, Jazz is America's art form, it's America's original art form, is just roots music. It got more evolved as time went by, and it got more intellectual and more, it just naturally, like everything else does. But they were still playing songs. Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie in the bebop era, Roy Eldridge before him, and Lester Young, and that era of people. It doesn't matter. They're still playing songs. Like I said, they're still often and mostly connected to the pop music of the day, of the pop culture. And that's still happening. That's still happening. So what you want to do is find something you like, something you can hang your hat on, something that's familiar to you, and listen to the original version that you know with the lyrics, and then go find a jazz musician's recording of it, and you're going to hear the lyrics, you're going to hear the form of it, and you're going to hear soloing, just like there is in rock music, just like there is in country music, just like there is in bluegrass, and on and on. There are amazing players in every style that are virtuosos and, incredible players. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is having fundamentals, knowing the song, knowing the chord changes, knowing the rhythm, feeling the tune, knowing it so you don't have to think about it so much. And putting that all together, and your other influences, like say you're in a certain neighborhood and you go to another neighborhood, or you go to another state, even in the United States, people talk different. They have different accents, so it's different. It's that these subtle influences that come through in the music. And if you are able to combine all of this, that's what jazz kind of came from. It came from the blues. Let's face it, it came from the blues, and then people eventually evolving and taking what they knew and adding new things to it from what they learned from who knows where, from anywhere from Stravinsky to I don't know, some guy playing at the bowling alley who really was really good that nobody ever heard of, and you'll never hear of. But there is always this energy that people that love this stuff. They can't help it. I'm one of them. I can't help it. It's just playing in my head all the time. And you use this evolution to your advantage and add little things from wherever you pick them up. And so the blues becomes, instead of Red House, it becomes Jimmy Smith and Wes Montgomery, adding other chord changes to it. Or if it's Someday My Prince Will Come, instead of Disney characters, it turns into Miles Davis playing this cool, just, I don't have the words for it. It's just an amazing, beautiful way to express whatever your story is. And that's the point. Everyone has a story.